welcome back to Psychic Street Smarts. I'm Catherine MacDonald, and we're on thatchannel.com. We're talking to Irma Haggis, and she is a labyrinth emissary, facilitator, and coach. And we've been talking about labyrinths and the history of them and how they're used and what they can do for your energy and what they can do for your right-left brain thinking and your balance. So if you want to know more, we'll make sure all of her information is available in the description in the podcast. But certainly check out her website, which is www.amazeyourmindlabyrinths.com, and you can find out all her information there. And she's also on selfgrowth.com, which is like a portal of all kinds of different experts.
And
it's
LinkedIn.
a wonderful site. And but you can find her quite easily if you just put her name in.
Yep.
And so what are you doing? Where can people find you? Are you doing any teaching, or are you in different locations? Where are you at?
Well, probably in the fall I'll get back to doing things at different places like Akash's Den, Breakthrough Center in Brampton, maybe Wonderworks or Transcends, various stores in the Greater Toronto area that allow workshops to take place.
Yeah.
What I was doing was a workshop on receiving, which was quite powerful for the participants, using the labyrinth as a vessel to teach them about that.
Yep.
And in the end of July, I will be up in Bancroft at what they call the Jamboree.
Yep.
And I'll be putting up an outdoor labyrinth on the grass out there under a canopy for people to come up and walk during the hours that I'll be there.
How do you create an outdoor labyrinth? You just actually...
I'll put pegs down in the earth, and then I'll lay rope down in the spiral design of the labyrinth, and
neat.
people will be able to walk it. It'll be really cool.
I had visions of paint, and I thought, that's
No.
not good for the grass.
No.
But no, you're talking about actually laying the rope down,
Yeah.
and then they can walk. Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be neat. That'd
Yeah.
be neat. You'll have to let me know how long it takes you to put one out. Had you done that before?
I haven't done it yet. I'm figuring at least a couple of hours to do it, to get
put
it
it
the way you
together
want,
for
because you have to
everybody.
measure the path. You have to see how big you want the center, and then take it from there.
Yeah, that's big. So when are you doing that? What is it? The last weekend?
July 31st and August 1st.
Okay.
And there's a wellness expo going on at the same time with Mystical Creation, so I'll probably be speaking there, and if time permits on the Friday or the Monday, maybe be doing some readings out of the store in Bancroft as well.
Oh, that's gonna be a busy time for you.
Good. I like to be busy.
And you were also teaching. I thought you were doing some stuff on healing. Were you doing some healing touch courses or something like that?
No, I've done talks on the Akashic Records and energy and whatnot in the past. I actually want to revamp everything where I can start teaching sort of what I do and how I do,
Okay.
but I haven't got there yet.
So there's just things coming.
Yes.
I know you were doing a lot of energy work, so somewhere I had
Yes.
thought you were teaching, a bit of that at one point.
Well, I can teach Reiki. I'm certified to do the Akashic Records, Reiki, and what I call Shift, which is the release work I do. Those
Yeah.
are all things I can teach.
So,
And I'm a reverend.
out of which?
Out of the University of Sedona,
Okay.
Metaphysics.
Oh, okay.
And I was ordained in Bancroft, so therefore the connection to
Oh, that's
Bancroft.
neat.
Yeah.
That's neat. They have a facility.
Yes,
in
Reverend
Ban-
Rita is out of the same university, and there was 10 of us all ordained last year up at her place.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was very nice. So I can marry people in Ontario. I'm legal.
You're legal.
I'm legal.
That's neat. That's neat.
I'd like to marry people in the Labyrinth. I think it would be really, really
Yeah,
an exceptional marriage.
You gotta
to have.
get one where they gotta meet each other in the middle.
Well, there is actually somebody designed a marriage labyrinth with an expanded center where the ceremony can actually take place in the center.
Isn't that neat?
I think it would be neat.
And it certainly would be different. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing their
Not-
ceremony that way.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody's created it, so obviously there is
Exactly.
somebody's done it, but I hadn't heard that. You have to let me know when it happens.
Yes,
This is cool. Is there anything else you'd like for people to know that would help them to, figure out if this is something they want to check out or know more about, or any books that they might start with, or things?
Well, there's so many books on the Labyrinth. I mean, start with the simpler books. There are very complicated books out there that get into all the myths and all the mathematics and the sacred geometry and whatnot. But if you want to know just about labyrinths, get a book about labyrinths and just start there. And You can, there's so many websites when you just put Labyrinths in that are going to come up. If you don't find information on my website, feel free to email me, and I can answer questions for you if you want, or direct you to somebody that might be able to answer your queries.
I doubt very much that you won't find the information somewhere on her website, because you've got so much information. But if they're looking for, the other things, you can probably help them find the other resources, because you've done a lot of your own research.
I
over
have,
the
but
years.
most of mine is about the boards and about facilitating.
Okay.
But there are people out there that make labyrinths for you on canvas and whatnot. My mentor in the States, Robert Foray, he's made I don't know how many thousands of labyrinths all over the world,
Yeah.
whether they're in canvas or concrete or bricks or pavers. So they can be made out of almost anything, stones. I walked a beautiful one in Oregon that was stones and crystals and whatnot, and it was overlooking the valley. It was just gorgeous.
Oh, wow. How many labyrinths do you think you've walked?
Oh, I don't know if it's that many, but I haven't counted them. But, it's just always such a joy to encounter new and different ones, because there's so many different designs. These are just two. There's lots and lots of different designs from ancient Egypt. There's one you'll find that's called Atlantis Labyrinth, so they're everywhere.
This is what design would this one be?
This is the chart design. There are square ones, round ones, oblong ones. They're in Italy. They're just about every country of the world.
There must be something to it. I mean, we have all kinds of wonders of the world. You have all kinds of monuments. You have all kinds of different patterns and things that come up. But the fact that the labyrinth is seen almost worldwide, although it may vary a bit from place to place, the premise is still the same. There must be something. I do believe that there, in those societies, if it's 3,000-4,000 years old, something sacred to it, because they didn't put all that work in there for a maybe.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of work to lay one of these down, especially if you're going to do it in stone or
Yes.
brick or whatever. So it must have meant something.
Yeah.
Is there a spiritual or religious significance?
Exactly. That's what I was just going to talk about. Is the labyrinth is steeped in religion and spirituality. And it's my mission, at least I feel it's my mission, to bring it from that ancient time and that ancient use into a more modern time and a more modern use. Labyrinths don't have to be just a religious, spiritual tool. They can be a de-stressing tool.
Right.
They can be a tool for somebody who's dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
They can be a tool for somebody who's dealing. I have a lady that bought one, and she was in school, and prior to exams, she'd be passing the labyrinth around for the kids to walk before they did the exam, just to calm their nerves. So,
That's neat.
it's a tool that can be used for so many things, from grief counseling to cancer to ADD to an executive dealing with a problem or an issue, and he's stressed out or he can't think straight. They allow you that time where you're in between sleep and awake, where sometimes we get our insights and our ideas.
And the alpha state.
Yeah, it allows you to be in that state of receptivity.
So, what is the religious or spiritual context of it? Does it depend on where the labyrinth is?
It depends where it is. You'll find them in a lot of some of the churches in Italy and France.
Okay.
So, it's sort of a church-based thing, therefore the religious aspect. If you or the listeners might be familiar with the plains of Nazca in South America.
Okay.
The rock plateau where there's the spider and the monkey carved into the rock, and it's so huge that you can only see the designs from the air.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I can see the image. I forgot what it was called.
In the monkey's tail is a spiral, and I think in the abdomen of the spider there's another spiral. So
It's a form of a labyrinth.
In a form of a labyrinth.
Oh, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Isn't that neat? The other aspect. Where can they find labyrinths in Toronto? I know of the one in Hyde Park. Are there other ones?
Yes, the one in Hyde Park is up behind. A lot of people can't find it because it's not even on the map, and if you ask people, they don't know where it is. It's up behind the restaurant, the Grenadier restaurant. You go behind it where the parking lot is, up the hill and behind and down. There's a labyrinth in asphalt painted. And there's one at the Eaton Centre, Trinity Square, so where the little Trinity Church is in the square behind the Eaton Centre. It would be between Yonge and Bay Street, I guess.
Okay.
There's a permanent one there. It used to be a grass labyrinth, so there's a permanent one there in brick. And there's one on Toronto Island. There's a little church, and there's a grass labyrinth with a big tree just outside the church. There are several United churches, both in Toronto and surrounding areas, that either have a labyrinth outdoors or a canvas one inside, because they use the labyrinth in their churches, and they have a retreat center with labyrinths as well. So they're very
Wow.
common in United churches.
I guess that's news to me. I'm not up on
Yes.
what everybody's doing, but it's interesting to me. Is there some reason why the churches are picking up on the labyrinth, or are they using it the same way that
Again,
you are?
well, I don't know if they'd be using it the same way I am, but it's that religious, spiritual use. And Reverend Lauren Artris in California, she's been a teacher for many, many years now, teaching people and sort of certifying them in her method of using it as a spiritual / religious tool.
Okay.
So,
I also, are you part of any groups of people that get together and do labyrinths, or do you
Well,
know of that kind of thing?
yeah, I'm part of the Toronto Labyrinth community.
Okay.
Yes, and they have usually get-togethers during the solstice, whether it's at the downtown labyrinth or the one in High Park. I'm part of Edgar Cayce Canada. I do workshops for them at their conference. I've done the last couple of years, and I do the Labyrinth and the Akashic Records at the conference.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are also some labyrinth groups, I think, on Meetup. I looked quickly, but I'm not sure. There are different places where you can connect to people. I thought there was one that you were involved with. I didn't know whether it was on Meetup or another group. I couldn't remember where you sent me something. There was some sort of event a couple of weeks ago, like a labyrinth get-together. Is that through the...
Well, there was the solstice.
Okay.
Yeah, there
okay.
was the World Drum.
Okay,
World Drum.
that
Yes.
was what it was. Sorry.
Yes.
There's so much information flying around
Yes,
that I
yes.
sometimes mix up where
And
I'm
if
at.
anybody's interested in that event and missed it, I have a YouTube channel, Labyrinths for You on YouTube, and the YouTube video on the World Drum event is up.
Oh, okay. So you'll have to check it out. Now, can they also access that video from your particular website?
I put it on my Facebook.
Okay.
It's not on the website, but they can just
They can
search
catch you on Facebook. You're on LinkedIn.
YouTube, look my name up or the business name or whatever, or just World Drum.
Yep. Okay. Well, we have come to the end of our time. Boy, does it ever go fast when you're talking about something that's so interesting. And it's interesting, on Irma's card, it says the journey begins with you. So I thought that was an interesting way to, and hopefully with all that we've presented here, that we can help people figure out if this is part of their journey. We have been talking to Irma Haggis, and her website is www.amazeyourmindlabyrinths.com. She's on Facebook, she's on LinkedIn, she's on
Self-growth.
Meetup somewhere. She's all over the place. Self Growth is another one where you can get a lot of her articles, so you can find her very easily. But and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having
and
me.
thank you for educating me, because I knew a little bit, but not with the understanding that you've helped me to get. So it makes so much more sense why you are so passionate about what you do. You're listening to Psychic Street Smarts. I'm Catherine MacDonald, and you can catch me on www.spiritualcat.com, but always here Monday nights from 7 to 8 p.m., and we'll see you next week.